So let's start lower limb introduction. So lower limb, if you see, it is mainly containing more heavy and bulky muscles, and also it looks somewhat bulkier when compared with your upper limb. Why? Because it mainly maintains all of your weight because you are now on it, right? So your weight is balanced mainly because of your lower limb. There is a lot of pressure on your lower limb, and if you observe, they are mainly the anti-gravity muscles, like they are working against the gravity in the case like when you are walking upstairs or when you are lifting your leg up, right? So all these conditions. And one more thing, during embryological development, if you see your lower limb, it will rotate medially 90 degrees, whereas if your upper limb, if you observe your upper limb, it will rotate laterally. So that is the reason why the extensor compartment of the lower limb will be on the anterior side and the flexor compartment will be on the posterior side. For example, if you see my hand in an anatomical position, your hand should be on this side. This is nothing but the palmar side, right? Or the, you can say, the flexor compartment is on the anterior side. This is the dorsal side, this is the posterior side. But if you see, this dorsal side is anterior side for your lower limb, but in the case of your upper limb, this anterior side will be the palmar side, right? So this is the difference. Why this difference has come? Because of the rotation in the embryological period. The lower limb will rotate medially. As it is rotating medially, you can see this is the normal position, right? So it is rotating like this medially. Then the extensor compartment will be anterior, whereas in the upper limb it will rotate laterally like this, means the anterior compartment, the palmar compartment will be anterior. Okay, so this is the difference, first difference, main difference to understand in a lower limb. Okay, and one more thing is, it's an anti-gravity muscle, we already discussed. So these muscles are having heavy bulk. We are saying the heavy bulk muscles. What are those? Mainly the first muscle you see is the gluteal maximus. The gluteal muscle will be around your hip region, right? So that is the gluteus maximus muscle, and which is mainly an extensor of your hip. So of course we are going to learn them detail in other videos. This is just an introduction. And next you have the quadriceps femoris, which is an extensor of knee. You know, this is a knee joint. So to extend the knee, you need a quadriceps femoris. And also you have the gastrocnemius and soleus. So this will be here at this region, gastrocnemius and soleus, which are the plantar flexors of the ankle. So this is ankle, right? So the plantar flexors of the ankle are those muscles. And next you also have yeah, that's it. So an extensive origin and a large bulky fleshy belly. So they are having an extensive origin. We will see about all those muscles later. And also they have bulky fleshy belly when compared with your upper limb. Okay, and if you observe this fibula and tibia will be here, right? You can say tibia, fibula is actually a post-axial bone of a leg, which does not take part in formation of knee joint. So only a tibia is participating in the case of your knee joint. Okay, and you have a patella or kneecap. You can see this is a patella or kneecap, which is a sesamoid bone which you find in your knee joint, right? In upper limb you see a sesamoid bone called I think you know everyone, pisiform, right? So always, what is the meaning of sesamoid bone? Sesamoid bone is the one which always accompanies, or it is a forming in a tendon, some tendon. So in the case of patella, it is forming in a tendon of quadriceps femoris. Okay, and it articulates with the lower end of femoris anteriorly and takes part in formation of knee joint. Okay, so this is a small introduction. Next we'll discuss about the bones. What are the bones of our lower limb? As we said, fibula is a post-axial bone, tibia is a pre-axial bone. Okay, so there are some certain important diseases to discuss later in videos, like varicose veins, Buerger's disease, which occurs specifically in the lower limb, and the development deformities of foot like Talipes equinovarus are more common than those of hand. So about all these diseases we will learn in our further videos. So now we'll start with the bones of the lower limb. What are the basic bones? Okay, so first coming with the gluteal region, it covers the back. This one is the gluteal region. It mainly covers the back of the pelvis. Okay, the main bone is hip bone. You can see here, this is the hip bone. So the hip bone, of course the joint over there is a hip joint. Okay, and next coming to the thigh. So you can see the thigh, you have the femur, it's the longest bone of our body, right? So, and also patella is part of the thigh up to the knee joint, right? So the joint here is of course the knee joint. Next, coming to the leg or crus. Okay, this is also called leg or crus. So leg or crus is mainly made up of our tibia and fibula. Okay, tibia and fibula. And next, they both together form the tibiofibular joints. As you can see, they're tibiofibular joints. Okay. Next, we have the foot or pes. Foot is also called as pes or also called as heel, right? So here you have tarsus. As you have carpals in your hand, right? Here you have tarsus. There are 7 tarsus. And next you have the metatarsals, like your metacarpals, right? So metatarsals are 5 in number. But if you see the difference, carpals are 8 in number, but tarsals are only 7. And coming to the metatarsals, there are 5, same like our metacarpals, and phalanges are 14, same. So the tarsus you can see the ankle joint, right? This is the ankle joint at the tarsals with the tibia and fibula, right? And you have subtalar and transverse tarsal joints also. And next you have tarso-metatarsal joint between the tarsals and metatarsals, tarso-metatarsal joints, and intermediate tarsal joints are between the tarsals. Okay, and also you have the metatarsophalangeal joints, of course, metatarsophalangeal joints, and also interphalangeal joints, that is between the phalanges. Okay, so these are the different bones of your lower limb. So we'll discuss some detail of hip bone. If you see the hip bone here, right? Yeah. So hip bone is made up of 3 elements, mainly ilium. You can see this ilium, ischium and the pubis. Okay, so 3 bones are forming the hip bone, which are fused at the acetabulum. So you can see here, this is the acetabulum they are mentioning over here, this one. Okay, so 3 bones fuse at the rate of acetabulum, and 2 hip bones form the hip girdle, which articulates posteriorly with sacrum. So these 2 hip bones form the hip girdle and they articulate with sacrum. You can see this back side. Okay, they're articulating with sacrum at sacroiliac joint. So this joint between the ilium of the hip bone and the sacrum is called as sacroiliac joint. Okay, and this bony pelvis includes 2 hip bones, a sacrum and also a coccyx. So coccyx is not seen over here, it will be inside, like you can see the small part here, that is a coccyx. Okay, below the sacrum. So these all bones are mainly forming your hip joint. Okay, so hip joint is an articulation between hip bone and the femur. So what is the hip joint? The hip bone with the femur, they articulate together form the hip joint. Okay, next, coming to gluteal region is also overlying the side and back of the pelvis. It includes hip and the buttock, which are not sharply distinguished from each other. Hip or coxa is a superior lateral part of gluteal region. Superior lateral, this one, superior lateral. This region is called as hip region. Okay, and presented in a side view, while the buttock or natis is an inferior medial rounded bulge of Freudian presented in back view. So if you see from back view, that is called as your buttock. Okay, hip is from superior lateral and buttock is from inferior and back view, inferior medial and back view. So the junction of thigh and anterior abdominal. So if you see the junction of thigh and the anterior abdominal wall is indicated by a groove of this groove is called as groin or inguinal region. The gluteal fold is the upper limit of thigh posteriorly. So actually here you can observe the groin or gluteal fold. Okay, next, coming to ham or popples, it is the lower part of back of thigh and the part of knee. So back of this, the area is called ham or popples. Next, coming to the calf or sura, it's a soft, bulky posterior part of the leg. In the leg, now you can feel the back side, that is called as calf or sura. Okay, it's a posterior bulky part, and the bony prominence, one on each side of ankle, are called malleoli. So actually you can feel the malleolus on both sides, lateral and medial side of your each foot, right? That is mainly formed by lower ends of tibia and fibula. So tibia and fibula lower ends only form as malleolus. Next, coming to the foot or pes. The foot or pes has an upper surface, dorsal surface, and the lower surface is sole or plantar surface. If you see here, for example, this is foot, so this is upper surface, dorsal surface, this is the lower surface or the plantar surface. Okay, so this is about plantar surface, and sole is homologous with palm of hand. Okay, the line of gravity, yeah, last one is line of gravity, and we'll end this section. You can see here, this is the line of gravity. So this line of gravity is mainly passing from the cervical region. You can see first at the cervical region in the upper part. Okay, and next it reaches the lumbar region, and from lumbar vertebrae in the lower limbs it passes behind the hip joint. You can see behind the hip joint. Hip joint is here, right, between the hip bone and the femur. So behind the hip joint, and in front of knee and ankle it passes. In front of knee and in front of ankle it passes. So this is called as the line of gravity. This is passing from cervical, lumbar, back, behind of hip joint, in front of in front of knee joint, in front of ankle joint. So that's it. By this we have completed the introduction. It's very small introduction, easy part. Next we'll start with the osteology of lower limb.